Hello, Algebra 1 class, Mr. Martin here. Welcome back to my virtual classroom where we are going to be moving on from systems of equations onto something else this week. We're going to be doing, we're going to be working with exponents. We're going to start with some basic information around exponents, and then we're going to kind of get into some more tougher things later on over the next week or so. But first, I want to hope that everyone's doing well, and always let me know if you have any issues viewing this or you have any issues with the work. Please reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you and keep in contact with us, please. Again, this week, looking at what this week's going to look like. Today is Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday. I've got videos for you guys to watch. Watch the videos, comment on the videos, shoot me an email, let me know what's going on, how you're doing, what's working for you, what's not working for you with this format. On Wednesday, you'll have a packet work to kind of go through based on the videos. Use the videos as reference. If you have any issues, reach out to me, please. I'd love to hear from you. And then on Thursday is a catch-up day. Use that to complete any work from this week or past weeks. And then on Friday is our social emotional day. The other week we had 3 or 4 kids in one of them with Mr. Nelson and Mr. Bergenholtz. Please join one of them, either Miss Johnson, Miss Armistead, or Mr. Nelson and Mr. Bergenholtz are doing a few times on Friday. Please use this time on Fridays to connect with people. Get to see some of your classmates, get to see some of your teachers. We can talk, we can chat. It doesn't have to be about anything in particular. All right, today let's take a look at what our learning objectives are going to be. Students will be able to express repeated multiplication in a simplified way. Okay, simplified way, simplified form. So first thing we got to know what an exponent is. Okay, or what it looks like. So you're going to see. And you've all seen it. You've seen it represented. That says 5 to the third. And then 5 here is my base. And the 3 is my exponent. And what this is telling me is this 5 is being multiplied by itself 3 times. 5 times 5 times 5. Okay? So, and then we do the 5 times 5, 25. 25 times 5 is 125. Right? So 5 to the third is 125. Where students kind of mess up and they kind of mix things up, you look at this and you say 5 to the third, oh, that's 5 times 3, that's 15. 15 is a lot different than 125. Okay? So remember, that's this number multiplied by itself, 5 times 5 times 5, 3 times. If this was 5 to the fourth, it would be 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 by itself 4 times. And 5 to the fifth, 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, 5 by itself 5 times. All right? So we have the base, we have the exponent, and that's basically what it is. If we move down here, we're going to be working with a lot of variables, okay? So we got to understand how to multiply exponents, or what to do with exponents when they're multiplied together and you have the same base. The only time you can combine exponents and change the exponent number, is if you have the same base. So here, for instance, we have x to the third times x to the fourth. And the way this works out is this is basically saying x to the third times x to the first is the same thing as x with nothing above it times x to the fourth. We're just going to add our exponents up, and we're going to keep the base. So we'll keep the base as next, and then we're going to add the exponents up. So we have 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8. X to the 8. That's this answer here. Where some people mess up is when you have x times x to the fifth times x. Are these x's that don't look like they have an exponent? Because it's just x to the first. We don't have to put an exponent up there when it's x first, but we gotta remember to add that 1 when we're multiplying. So this is 5 plus 1 plus 1, because these are just the same thing as saying 1 and 1 here. So that's 7, x to the 7th. All right? So that's how we combine them. If I had any other base in here, I couldn't add that base to that exponent. We're going to see that over here in 1 second. So let's go over what a simplified exponential expression is. Each base occurs only once, okay? Meaning that I can't have the base of x in the simplified expression twice, or the base of b in the simplified expression twice. There are no parentheses. No parentheses, we can get rid of parentheses, we can multiply whatever's on the outside of the parentheses by what's on the inside of the parentheses, and there are no zero or negative exponents. This piece here, we're going to get to later on and talk about what zero exponents and what negative exponents are, but just know that that's part of creating a simplified exponential expression. We'll get to that later, we're not going to get to that today, so we're just kind of not put that off to the side and not worry about that right now. So, let's go over a couple examples here. First example is 3x squared times y to the third times x times z to the second. Okay, first thing I gotta see, do I have multiple bases in here? I do. I have an x to the third and an x, which means I gotta simplify this down. So, I'm gonna start with my constant, and I have a 3. Are there any other constants in here? Anything that, nope, there's no other constants here. So I'm just gonna bring the 3 down because the 3 is gonna be in front of everything. Then I'm gonna say I have an x squared and an x. I add the exponents together there. X squared is 2, x is 1, so I go 2 plus 1, x to the third. Then what about my y's? I only have one y here, y to the third. So I'm just gonna bring that down. And then the same thing with the z. I have z to the second. I have no other z's in there. So I'm just going to bring that down. And that's my simplified form. 3x to the third, y to the third, z to the z squared. Right? Let's take a look over here. I take a look. I want to put in simplified form. I have m's, I have n's, and I got a constant. First thing I want to take a look at is my constant, my 7. I say, are there any other constants in here? Nope, no other constants. I'm going to bring that down and put that in front of everything. So 7. Then I must go to my m's. M squared, and then m to the third. So I add those together, a 3 and a 2, I have 5. M to the fifth. And then my n's. I have an n to the fifth and an n, which is just to the first. So 5 plus 1 is 6. So we go n to the 6. All right? And that's this simplified form right here. Okay? And I think that's about it. That's very basic. This is just simplifying exponents. It's taking kind of things that are being multiplied together and just putting it in a very simplified form here. And we can see when we're multiplying bases that have different exponents, we're adding those exponents, okay? So, watch this, let me know. If you have any questions, if you're confused at all by any of this stuff, please reach out. I'd love to help you out through it. Comment on the video, let me know. Either comment through Canvas, comment on YouTube, or send me an email. All right, those are 3 ways that you can comment, you can reach me. And other than that, I will see you back tomorrow for another video. Thank you.